Hello students, this is Faizan Mirza. We are discussing the topic of excitation contraction coupling today. What is excitation contraction coupling? This occurs at the neuromuscular junction where the motor neuron forms a synapse with your muscles and the skeletal muscle, and how it depolarizes your muscle so the muscle can then contract. So how this goes on? Basically, the motor neuron, it forms a synapse with the muscle fiber, and the membrane of the muscle fiber is the sarcolemma. So what happens is the wave of depolarization reaches the axon terminal of the motor neuron, and as it reaches the end of the motor neuron, voltage gated calcium channels which are present at that end of the motor neuron, they start to open, and calcium inflow occurs into the motor neuron inside the axon. So once calcium enters inside the axon terminal, it causes the neurotransmitter vesicles which are already stored in this motor neuron axon terminal. These are acetylcholine vesicles. They undergo exocytosis. When acetylcholine is released into the synapse, into the neuron, the synaptic cleft, into the neuromuscular junction, it diffuses across the synaptic cleft through the tissue fluid, and while it's diffusing through the tissue fluid in the synaptic cleft, the neuromuscular junction, acetylcholine eventually binds to the acetylcholine receptors on the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. The attachment of these triggers the sodium influx, causing the localized depolarization to threshold inside the sarcolemma. Why is that so? Because you know that the acetylcholine receptor, this receptor, it attaches to acetylcholine. The moment two acetylcholine molecules have attached here, a channel opens in the center which allows sodium ions to enter inside the cell. So this causes localized depolarization to threshold. Then the voltage gated sodium channels are recruited, they start to open. So the sarcolemma depolarizes completely. The wave of depolarization will spread all over the sarcolemma, and as it spreads, this will end up recruiting even more sodium voltage gated channels, so they would start to open, and eventually the wave of depolarization would reach the transverse tubule or the T tubule. Once the depolarization goes into the T tubule, voltage gated calcium channels present on the membrane of the sarcoplasmic reticulum, they starts to open, and sarcoplasmic reticulum, it stores calcium ions. It just lets go those calcium ions outside into the sarcoplasm. So once the calcium ion goes out, it binds to troponin and tropomyosin. It changes the shape. The altering of this shape causes the cross bridges to form between the myosin and the actin, and this is how the power stroke occurs. The sarcomere starts to shorten, and ATP hydrolysis causes the myosin head to detach from the actin, and the presence of the calcium ensures that the cycle continues. So calcium causes the actin myosin crossbridge to keep on forming, and ATP keeps on helping it in ending that crossbridge formation. The power strokes keep on occurring, and the sarcomere keeps shortening 10 nanometer every power stroke. So you can see I have used this key here. The point 1, 2, and 3 is occurring at the motor neuron. The point 4, 5, and 6 is occurring in the synaptic cleft in the neuromuscular junction. And the points that I mentioned, 7 till 19, these are the ones which are occurring inside the skeletal muscle fibers. Acetylcholine, which was released in the neuromuscular junction, it will eventually be broken down by the acetylcholine esterase. Not eventually, in fact, it's simultaneously broken down by acetylcholine esterase to products, so that it is recycled back into the presynaptic cell. If you diagrammatically you look at this condition here, so the action potential and how this is involved here in the neuromuscular junction. So this is the neuromuscular junction here. This is the vesicles having acetylcholine, and this is the action potential that comes here. These are the muscle membrane, and this is the sarcolemma here, and these are the channels, the acetylcholine receptor. These are the sodium voltage gated channels. These are the sarcoplasmic reticulum. This is the T tubule here. This is the sarcoplasm. You can see how the myelin sheath is covering the motor neuron, and this is the presynaptic membrane, and the sarcoplasmic reticulum, as I told you, this is the condition. This is the organelle that store calcium ions. This is the synaptic cleft, the gap between the motor neuron and the sarcolemma. These channels, I've added some more. These are calcium channels here, the voltage gated calcium channels, the keys mentioned here. So how actually these things are functioning? These are your the filaments which are present, the actin myosin filaments which are present in the sarcomere inside the muscle fibers. So this is one sarcomere. This gap here, this not gap, this thing that I have shaded, this moving from one Z line to another Z line. This is one sarcomere. So what happens here? At first, the action potential will come as I've just mentioned in the previous slide. So it comes, it depolarizes the membrane, it causes the calcium channels to open. Calcium causes the vesicles to undergo exocytosis. Acetylcholine is released, and release of acetylcholine causes acetylcholine to bind to the receptor. It opens the sodium channel. Sodium enters the muscle, cause localized depolarization. The localized depolarization will then go on to recruit more channels. These are the voltage gated channels which are being recruited here. So more sodium ion starts to enter here. Once the T tubule has become depolarized, the depolarization of the T tubule means that the muscle fiber is being depolarized fully. Sodium will enter from these channels as well, and in response to this, the voltage gated calcium channels present here, they will release the calcium ions into the sarcoplasm. These calcium ion will go on to bind to the troponin here, which is present on the actin, which changes the shape of the troponin. Troponin and calcium attachment causes the shape of the tropomyosin to alter. When the tropomyosin shape has been altered, actin myosin cross bridges start to form, and the sarcomere shortens. This Z line and this Z line, they are pulled closer towards the M line, and the sarcolemma shortens by 10 nanometer in 1 power stroke. This is how excitation contraction coupling occurs. That's it. Thank you so much.